Hey, what is up guys? My name is Dime, but better known as Dimling, and welcome to another video. Hope you guys are having a good day today. We're gonna be continuing the tutorial where we yesterday left off. This is just a simple room. It doesn't really look that realistic, it looks nice, but not that realistic, right? So that's what we're gonna change today. We're gonna make it look a bit more realistic with some reflections and stuff like that. We're gonna be adding frames for the windows. We're gonna be adding frames for the doors. We're gonna add some decoration on the walls, and we're gonna fix the shading basically. Okay, so I told you what we're gonna do today. So let's go back to solid mode here, and let's go ahead and just drag this up like this. Make sure you're on material here, and we're gonna go here on material as well. We're gonna click minus here, and we're gonna click new material three times right here. 1, 2, 3. So we have 3 materials. One is gonna be called 1, the second one's gonna be called 2, and the third one is gonna be called 3. There we go. So number 1, right? We want to go ahead and just delete the shader of the fuse. Click Shift A and then shader, and then go to mix shader. So what mix shader does is that it basically connects two shader together into one. Okay, so click Shift A now and add a principal shader, which is going to be going here. And we want to go ahead and now click Shift A and add a diffuse shader. Let me just find it here. I think it's on the top. There we go. Okay, now connect that one to the second one here. So now, as you can see, if we click here on preview, it doesn't really happen. Not too much is happening right now. It did change, but this is not what we want. We want to be changed on specific parts. So how we're gonna do that is that we're gonna click on texture, Shift A and then texture, and then we're gonna add a noise texture here, which is gonna be going to factor. So then we're gonna go ahead and roughness and set it on 0.6. Okay. So if we go ahead now and just change the colors here real quick, let's go ahead and do that. Let me change it to brown, change it to light brown. I'm sorry, I'm colorblind, so I don't really see that well, some colors, so I'm just gonna guess where brown is, but like, I'm not that colorblind. I kind of can guess where it is. Okay, and then we just do this, right? There we go. Maybe make it a bit more light. Okay. So now let's go ahead and add here, Shift A, go to color, and then bright contrast. You want to put it in the noise texture right there. Okay, contrast, put it on 7.1. Click enter. And you're gonna see now that we're starting to get some different shading going on here. That should be happening right now. So let's click Shift A again, search, and then go to texture coordinate. There we go. Connect the UV to vector, and that is basically it. So now we're gonna go ahead and copy those 3. So the texture coordinate, noise texture, and the bright contrast. We're gonna Shift D that. We're gonna put it down here, and I'm gonna tell you why now. Because right now we're gonna click Shift A and then add a vector and a bump. So bump does like this thing where it makes surface look like it actually has depth in it. You know, like it's three-dimensional, but it actually doesn't. So we're gonna set this one on 0.15. Okay, so let's go ahead now and see here. Is everything okay? Yeah, everything looks fine. So this is what it should look like. So now when we have everything like this, we're gonna click on A 2 times. So we select everything. Click copy, Control C, then go on the second material. Delete these 2 by clicking delete, and then click Control V to paste it. So now what we did is that we placed the stuff that was on the first material here on the second one. Now we're gonna change the colors on the second one to a dark brown. So I'm just gonna do this. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Now we're gonna select it again. We're gonna click Control C to copy it. We're gonna go to the third one. We're gonna delete this. We're gonna paste this, okay? So go ahead here and make this any color you want the frame of the window to be. I'm gonna make the frame of the window like blue. I don't know, I think it's gonna look good. Let me just find like something similar. There we go. Okay. So now when we have something like this, you can later on change it. We might change it. I don't know. We'll see. Now let's go ahead here, go down like this, and start making our props. So first we're gonna start by lowering the window down so it's not a cube. I just exited camera mode. By selecting our room, clicking tab, then you want to make sure that you're in face select mode. You want to click number 1 on the numpad and then number 5 to go in orthographic view. You want to click Z on your keyboard. Make sure everything is deselected by clicking A 2 times. Then click B. And then you want to drag across this line over here, okay? Across the second line. So B, and then drag it like this. And then let go. So we can go ahead and move our camera now. We can click Z. And we can lower it as much as we want. So I'm gonna make my window approximately like that, okay? So that's how low it's gonna be. Okay, we can make it like, we can even make it like this, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna make it something like this. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's fine. Just a little bit more down. There we go. Now click A to deselect it. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to face select mode. We're gonna select any one of these inner sort of, you know, frame faces. And when we select one of them, we're gonna click on dot on your numpad. And when we have one selected, we're gonna hold shift and select the other ones. So hold shift and then click. There we go. Now we're gonna click shift D, then right click, then click P, and then selection. Okay, now we can leave the edit mode by clicking tab. And then click the frame where it just made it. So it should be here. So click here. There we go. As you can see, we selected it. It's gonna show up like this. And one thing that's wrong right here is that it took the origin of our room instead of just like origin of the object. So we're gonna click Shift Control Alt C and then click origin to center of mass surface. Click that. And as you can see, we changed our arrows to be in the middle of our object, which is what we always want. And now we're gonna go ahead and scale the frame just a little bit. So scale dot 95. There we go. Now when we did that, we're gonna click on tab. And now we're gonna go to edge select. We're gonna select the edges over here. And we're gonna click number 1 and then click Z. So now we're gonna zoom in on that. And this is the wall right here. We wanna make this go just like maybe like this, okay? Just a little bit like in front of the wall. So we're gonna click Z again. We're gonna click on number 3 on our numpad. Click extrude, then right click, and then scale on how much you want the frame to be, how much large you want the frame to be. So I'm gonna go ahead and just scale it like that. There we go. Let's go ahead now and click extrude, and then right click, and then go back in, just like that. Let's go ahead now and zoom in on this over here, on this edge. So you want to go ahead and select the edge like this, and then click the dot on your numpad, and it should zoom it in right like that. It should focus on that, you know, the camera should be on that. Click Control R while looking at this, and it's going to create a loop cut. We want to go ahead and scroll once, so it creates 2 loop cuts. We want to click left click and then right click, okay? Now, before we do anything else, let's go ahead and click Control B while this is still selected. And then let's go ahead and move the offset like by 0.0045 maybe. There we go. We're gonna go ahead now and extrude this in just a little bit, maybe on 0.25. Okay, so now do the same thing. We're gonna select the edge over here and we're gonna click the dot so it focuses on that. And now the thing is, we're gonna click A to deselect everything. And now this is like the hardest part. So we're gonna click Shift and Alt and select the edges of the ones that are popping out. So this one, this one, this one, and this one. By holding Shift and Alt together, it's gonna select the whole frame, as you can see here. And now we're gonna click Control B, and then we're gonna drag as much as we want the curvature to be. So you can go ahead and, if you want to, I'm not going to, but you can go ahead and use your scroll wheel to make more segments like this. But I'm just gonna use one like this, and then left click. So I'm gonna click Tab now, And what I'm gonna do now is that I'm gonna take that frame of the window and I'm gonna put it on the door over here, okay? So this is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna click Control C and Control V to paste it. We're just gonna move it with the red arrow somewhere around here, just so it's not here. We're gonna rotate it in the same way the doors are faced. So rotate Z minus 90 degrees. Click Enter. And let's go ahead now and just move the window so it fits right here. Okay? This is like an approximation right now. Don't worry about it. We're gonna fix it later. We're gonna fix it right now, actually. Let's click number 1 on the numpad. Make sure you're in orthographic view, so you can see the difference between a 3D view and an orthographic view. We're gonna select our frame here. We're gonna click Tab, and then we wanna click Z. So now we wanna click A to deselect everything. And we wanna go to Face Select here. We wanna select the lower part of our frame, and we wanna go down like this, okay? Now, you wanna go down just below the floor. And then you wanna click X and then Faces. So now when you did that, you wanna click Tab to exit the edit mode, and we can click 0 to go to the camera. Click Z to go back to your normal view. Okay, so from the camera, of course, you cannot see much happening, so we're just gonna leave it for a second. And let's see how are the doors framed. So let's just click number 1 and then Z, so we can zoom in and just, see. You can click G to move around with the doors, and then right click to get it back where it was. So I can just, mess around and see where the door frame actually is. And yeah, I think that's pretty much good, actually. Let's click Z here. Yeah, so the only thing I'm gonna do here is that I'm gonna go ahead and pull the doors slightly like towards me with the green arrow. And if like this is happening, as you can see here, like we can see the wall. We don't want that. Okay, so we can go to edit mode by clicking Tab and then clicking a slash to focus on the doors. And we're gonna select the frame here, the back frame, like that, by holding Shift and selecting them. Then clicking slash again, and then moving it outwards like this. There we go. Now we can click Tab again. And when we have those done, I think pretty much right now we need to add, the only thing left to do is to add the decoration on the side of the wall. It's pretty much easy how to do this. We want to select the room, right? We want to click Tab, and then we want to go to Face Select. So here you want to select this face over here. Click Shift D and then right click. Click P and then Selection. Exit the edit mode by clicking Tab. Then click on the thing that we just separated. Click Shift Control Alt C and then Origin to Center of Mass Surface. As we already did that, I already explained. So it basically puts the origin in the middle of your object. So now when we have that object selected like that, we're gonna click slash so we focus on that. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna go to edit mode by clicking Tab. We're gonna want to click Control R and then move this one with left click and then move it up like this, maybe. Okay, click Control R again, but this time we want to make it go vertically, and we want to make from 5 to 7 of these. So I'm gonna make 7 of those. So left click and then right click, then go to Face Select and then select every other one of these, and then every single one of these, okay? Just like this. Then click Extrude, then .03, click Enter. And then you want to deselect the long lines, okay? You just want to leave these over here. And then again, Extrude, .03, and then Enter. Now we're going to go ahead and click on Edge Select here. And we're going to select the top and the bottom ones on the short cubes here. Like that. By holding Shift, you can select multiple of them. Click Control B and then just drag like this. Yeah, that's enough. And then do the same thing over here. Control B and then drag. There we go. Click A to deselect it. And yeah, so now we can go ahead and click Tab to exit the edit mode. And we can go ahead and click slash to get back to our view. Then click dot on our numpad. And as you can see, we have a collision going on here. it's gonna be easy to fix. We're just gonna go ahead and move the arrow here. We're just gonna move it so as you can see, like something is happening here. They're colliding together with the wall and with the frame of the window. So you're just getting this weird effect. We're gonna fix it by just moving the arrow a little bit like towards us. We're gonna click Shift D, then right click, then with a green arrow, you wanna look with your cursor on this edge over here, okay? So look at this edge over here and press Control, and then let go of the left key, and then let go of the Control. We're gonna do that again, but this time we're gonna do it on this side, and then on this side, and then on this side. So Shift D, then right click, then move it, and then lock it. You wanna lock it in the middle of here. So Control, and then look here. Then let go left mouse, and then let go Control. So let's do the same thing here. Shift D, then right click, rotate Z minus 90 degrees, then click Enter. Now we're gonna try to just adjust it properly to the edge here by clicking Control and snapping it there on the edge of the door. Okay, and we're gonna just move it a little bit. So yeah, there we go. Right. Again, Shift D, right click, and then move it. Control and snap it to this edge over here, and then click A to deselect everything. So we did now a big deal right now. So we did a big stuff right now. So the only thing I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and select the frame and just move it outwards. So it, yeah, like that. So it just goes across this decoration on the wall. Okay. So now we're gonna go ahead and add a material. We're gonna start from our basic round here. We're gonna add this material over here to it. So that's already the basic material for it, I think. We're gonna click Tab to go to edit mode, select everything, click Hue, and then unwrap. So now we're gonna click Tab again. And we're gonna go here and click Compositing. So now as you can see here, we have our image showing here. So we're just gonna go ahead and pull this up like that. We're gonna click here and go to material, and everything is gonna turn white. I'm just gonna show you in a second. There we go. And now you can see the floor is starting to get that texture, right? But this really doesn't look like a wooden floor exactly because of the texture and the grains. I don't really find it that realistic. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to edit mode. Make sure everything is selected by clicking A, and everything should be like this, highlight it, and then click Scale in X. So you want to scale it on X axis, and then, yeah, you can click Tab mode to just edit it. And then you want to go ahead and really get that wooden texture. So for example, I really like this, so I may leave it like that, or maybe just a little more scale. Yeah, okay, that is good. That is good. Now we're gonna go ahead and click on our window here. We're gonna click Tab, we're gonna click A 2 times, then U, and then reset here. So now no texture showing up because we didn't assign any materials. We're gonna go to Material tab here and click here, and then add the third texture. That's the window texture. And now if we do that, you're gonna see that we're starting to get something. I'm gonna just zoom it in just a second. There we go. Now I'm gonna do the same thing, scale, and then scale it on Y actually, and then let go when you think it's enough. I'm gonna click Tab right there because that looks like wood enough. Yeah, okay. So now I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing for the frame of the doors. Click on the door and then assign the third one. Okay, click Tab, select everything. Click U and then reset. There we go. So now we're gonna click Scale and then Y. Like that. Left click to let go, and then Tab to exit the edit mode. There we go. The only thing that is left to do now is to assign for these over here. So we're gonna select them, every single one of them, by holding Shift and then click Control Join. Now we're gonna add a material for them by clicking here and then clicking the number 2. So yeah, we're gonna unwrap this. I'm sorry, I did something wrong. So unwrap and then Q projection. Then we're gonna click Scale and then X. So we wanna scale it maybe like that. Yeah, okay. That looks good. Now, we want to go ahead and click slash so we can focus just on that part. We want to click number 1 on the keyboard and number 5 to enter the orthographic mode. Click Z, then click tab to go to edit mode. This is like too much information, I know, but just try to keep up. If something is not working, just, play back the video. We're going to click on face select here. We're going to click A to deselect everything, and then B, and then just select the top stuff like this. You don't want to touch any of these down here dots. You want to just touch the top dots like that. So when those are selected, we can go ahead and go back to material mode. And here, as you can see, we want those to be vertical while these are horizontal, because these horizontals are actually, like, it's normal to see a horizontal plan that has like horizontal lines, right? Like this. So we need to do that. It's not gonna work by rotating it. We need to scale it. So we're gonna do that. Scale X and scale it back as it was, like this. Then click scale Y, and then you can stretch it out. So you can see we're starting to get that. Scale Y, and then, okay. There we go. That looks good. Let's go back here and click on default. And let's click 0 to go to camera mode. Let's go ahead and render this and see how that looks like. There we go. So yeah, I mean, that is it for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you subscribe and give it a like, because we're gonna be doing another tutorial like in a day, where I'm gonna be adding some more stuff to this, and I'm gonna be teaching you some more stuff, of course. We're gonna be adding bookshelves, and we're gonna add probably a table and a chair and a carpet here to cover this up. And yeah, that is it for this episode. I will see you guys in the next one tomorrow, and take care.